Welcome back to Greenelm Station. It has been a while since I last uploaded a video, but we're still under COVID restrictions, so it is a bit difficult to make progress. However, I now received a parcel from Minitrix in Germany with a new loco and 2 coaches, as well as the equipment to install lights in the coaches. So that's what I'm going to have to look at today. Also, I received a letter from my daughter in Wales sending me some hunt couplings. It only took 2 weeks for the letter to go from Wales to Italy. So I will also be installing the hunt couplings and see how they work. So let's have a look at it. Let's go. So here's some information about the prototype. The development of the Class 218 regular production locomotives proceeded over a time period of 15 years, and several variants were developed. At the time they were delivered in 1971, they represented the most up-to-date concept for single-motor large diesel locomotives for use with heavy passenger and freight trains. The installation of hydrodynamic brakes, which was new, allowed the maximum speed to be raised to 140 kilometers per hour, that's 88 miles per hour, and also new was the electric train heating instead of the previous steam heat. The reliable Class 218 is used all over Germany for freight and passenger trains, up to and including intercity express trains. A number of different color variations are in existence, including 10 locomotives in the color of the city barn for Cologne to Gummersbach in orange gravel grey. So let's now have a look at the details. As you can see, it is extremely detailed, very well painted. It's a very good looking model and it runs smoothly. Here now, just without any sound. It has been running and it just goes round without any problem at all. Lights are functioning as they should. Testing the crawl. As you can see, this is of course a DCC. Oh, should I just mention that it is N-gauge, so it's all very small. It is DCC, so its ability to crawl is extremely good. As you can see, it's very smooth. There's no jumping at all. It's as it should be. It comes equipped with a sound decoder, and we'll just have to get it in and park it and try some of the different sounds that are available on the sound decoder. So here we go.
Gleis 7 bitte einsteigen. Türen schließen selbsttätig.
Now, the one thing I want to test is the ability to pull some carriages up the hill towards the Holby station. And this is where it fails me. The wheels are turning, but it's not able to climb up the hill. So while I now let it park slowly in its reserved space on the fiddle yard, what is my overall evaluation? Well, it's a beautiful model. It works as it should. It has a lot of good sounds. The only disappointment is that it doesn't pull the wagons up the little hill. Might be a question of the rubber wheels that are not running properly. So all in all, I'm quite pleased with the model. Value for money, well, it is of course not cheap, but then locos with DCC and sound are seldom cheap. It comes at 280 euros, which compares to most other locomotives equipped with sound. But let's leave that now and turn towards the task of installing sound in the wagons. So here is the Royal Bavarian State Railway wagon, also from Minitrix, extremely detailed, very beautiful.
In order to install the light, you first of all have to take off the top, and that's the only kind of tricky little thing. So you put your thumbnails in here and off it goes. Now you have here the interior of the wagon, and that gives you a good opportunity to put in a couple of passengers before you do anything else. So let's just try to do that. It is of course still Corona time, so there won't be many people going by train. In fact, I only have 3 passengers to be seated. Let's see, just a tiny bit of Uhu glue. And down he goes. These seats are so well proportioned that you actually don't need to cut the legs off the figures, which is nice. That was 2. And the last one. Right, now it's not completely empty. While the glue is drying, I will open this package which contains the light fixing. One of the greatest difficulties is to actually get it out of the box. I'm struggling a bit. Here it is. There's still some instructions inside, but oh. Here we go. Right. This is the light fixture itself. And here are the little bits that bring it to work. So I will open this bag and put the goodies so that I don't lose them. And this, of course, is too long, so I need to cut it, which is very easily done. Let's see, it has to fit into the carriage, so if you cut it there and there, that should do it. Still a bit too long. I'll cut off one more. Yeah, now it should fit. Then if you follow the instructions, you take these little tiny bits here, and they have to be put on the right way, which is like this, with the hooky part on the side of the lamp. There he goes. There it is. And then this one. Oh, that's much easier. Right, then let's see, the passengers are well seated, they're not falling out of their seats. Good. Now we need to put in the small bits to pick up the power from the rails. And in fact, these small ones are the right size. One thing that's quite important, when you have to remove one set of wheels at a time. Now, make absolutely sure that you put it back the same way it was. Because if you don't, you will make a short. And you take one of these little things and put it under the axle of the other wheel, and then you put this wheel back again the right way. There, wheels are back in place and the pickup is installed. And we have to do the same on the other side. One set of wheels out. Pickup down in place and the wheels go back the right way. The way it works is that one set of wheels picks up from one of the rails and the other set from the other rail. That's why it's so important to have the wheels put back in the right way. If I did that, it should work now. Okay, let's try and have a look. Just to prove my point, it turns out that I did put the wheel in the wrong way around and it did create a short. So now I'm turning it around. There it is. There it is on the rail, and when we turn on the power, it's all bright and shiny. In fact, it's a bit too bright. I'll try to see if I can regulate the brightness.
You do that by twisting the tiny little screw up on this top with a tiny little screwdriver. There, I think that's better. Okay,
All I need now is to put the top on it again. So, there it is, ready to go.
but there is a little problem. The couplings are not always reliable. Oops, there it goes off. Same happens to some of the other carriages. Just wait to see when it gets up to the top of the hill. Goodbye to 2 of the carriages. So that's why we call for the Hunt couplings.
So these are the Hunt couplings, and I hasten to add that I have bought them and paid for them. I'm not being asked to do any advertisement. But some people said it is a game changer. They used to come with, what would you call it, north-south poles or plus and minus. But now these clever people at West Hill Wagon Works have developed magnets that work even if you switch them around. So you don't have to have a matching set on each side of the wagon. You can still turn them around. Putting them in is a little bit of a fiddle. You pull out the original coupling and take one of these. You have to make sure that the little dot is on the upside, and then you just slot it in. There, that's all it takes. Let's see if we do that on the other wagon, and hopefully they can still fit together. So again, I take one and put it in, and there it is. And as you can see, these are the close couplings, and they are indeed very close. But still, because the wagons are made this way, they can manage to get around the corners perfect. They can go back on the rails now.
Now the only thing you have to bear in mind is that Hunt couplings are not compatible with the old couplings. So once you start changing, you have to change it on all your locos and all your carriages. Well, that's a small price to pay. It works. That's all for now. See you again next time.